Oh, ladies and gentlemen, do we have a treat for you today? So we've got the brand new Champion Synergy with Thor Ragnarok, which provides him a 0.8% attack rating per hit on the combo meter. So essentially, when he's over 100 hits, that's 80% more attack. Then you've got 60% from Gladiator Hulk. You've got another like 15% from Korg whenever the opponent's in the corner. And Proxima allows his big power gain to trigger every 30 hits instead of 40 hits. Now, before we get into some of this gameplay that has been sent across, we need to give a massive shout out to PooseUnpoose, not only for his commitment to Thor Ragnarok, because a lot of people, won't touch this guy with a 10-foot barge pole, but I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Thor Ragnarok. I think he's very, very fun to play, and can do some pretty cool stuff as well, but he does take a while to get into any fight, and, does require needing to be awakened, having a high signature level, and the synergies. So it's a big commitment for any Thor Ragnarok kind of diehard fans out there to really want to pimp this dude out. But as you can see here, man, we're in like almost 40 hits, not even 10% is down. But Thor Ragnarok is all about getting to that special free, so you can go Super Saiyan and enter that crazy damage mode. And I quite like the new synergy with the champion, man. I think it kind of fits the character quite well as a big kind of ramp up damage champion, because, once you're getting past those like 100 hits, man, the damage is just going up and up and up. And you can see here as well with the special free, you get additional effects like shock and armor break. And I believe it's something based on either the shock charges or the armor break charges. There is a chance to stun as well. So about 50% of the time, I think, when he's in Super Saiyan phase, the opponent is stunned. So there's so much stuff going out there. And also each shock, I believe, is reducing ability accuracy by 15% as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff. Beast mode damage, armor break, ability accuracy reduction, chain stuns. A lot is going on with that Super Saiyan special free phase. But you can see here we are about 80 hits in now, and the last like 50% of his health ball has just been absolutely decimated there, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going for another special free. I'm not really too sure in some of these intervals if it might be a little bit better to kind of like sneak in a few special twos. But again, it's been a while myself since I've played Thor Ragnarok, man. But I think if you get this guy as a 6-star, you get him awakened, which, granted is a bit of a stretch at the moment, to maybe say the least. But hey, if you get a Thor Ragnarok, you get him awakened, that's always that silver lining, man. And, I like the character, I think he's quite fun to play. But again, I think out of all of the champions in the game, he does have the most prerequisites to being a really, really good character. Relying on all the team synergies, having him awakened, as many sig levels as possible to extend the duration of the special free Super Saiyan phase. There's a lot of prerequisites to this character's beast mode damage, but boy oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, does it look beautiful. Now we have the main event, ladies and gentlemen, some Thor Ragnarok Labyrinth of Legends gameplay. And the reason that there's not really much Labyrinth of Legends gameplay, or pretty much none out there, is that to extend the enrage timer, Thor Ragnarok does need to be a rank 5 character. And again, there are very, very few people brave enough or have the commitment to take this character up to rank 5. So it's really awesome seeing this dude kind of in action when it comes to Labyrinth of Legends. Just a perfect special 2 timing there with the power gain to bring this character all the way to his special free. And again, we're not really going to start seeing some of the big damage until we get that special free, get the lightning infused for Ragnarok, and then you can start stacking those shocks. But also because Thor Ragnarok to a certain extent is a bit of a tempo based character, I don't think Labyrinth of Legends is maybe one of the best places where this character shines. Although I think if you were to take this character to 100% Labyrinth of Legends, there would be quite a few fights where his mechanics, especially the ability accuracy reduction, would be very, very advantageous. I think especially when we're looking at certain fights like Magic, for example, would help significantly reduce the amount of limbo there. So, there are advantages going on. And one of the good things about Thor Ragnarok, maybe in comparison to other skill characters in Labyrinth, for example, taking in like a Gwenpool or a Blade, is that Thor Ragnarok, when it comes to shock, I don't believe any of the Labyrinth characters are actually immune to the shock mechanic, whereas if, you bring in Blade or Gwenpool when it comes to Labyrinth, you get to like Colossus, Unstoppable Colossus, and then you cannot bleed the opponent. So having that shock that can be applied to pretty much anyone, I'm just trying to think of which characters are actually resistant to shock, and I think it's a very, very small amount. I think it might just be Emma Frost, but I feel like I'm forgetting a character or two. Shock resistance is just something that almost, never comes into the forefront of anybody's mind here. I think it's also worth noting that the Red Hulk, the first boss in Labryinth, is very known for, because he's the old version of Red Hulk, so he has a lot of physical resistance, like a really, really big amount, and makes your standard hits hit significantly less hard whenever he has like a few stacks of heat charges, so that's something that's very, very noticeable, especially when you're playing characters like Medusa, and also Star-Lord when it comes to Red Hulk in comparison to other fights. But I think so far, you know, Thor Ragnarok, without Suicide Masteries or any boost, he's making a fairly decent pace here. And I think with the setup of this champion, he's a character that you could arguably get away with playing Suicide Masteries if you really did want to, because a lot of the damage output really is from the special 3. So I think there is maybe a little bit of damage to be gained without really any health loss if you were to run the Suicide Masteries playing Thor Ragnarok. But I feel like this character won't really come into much conversation for a while until 6-star champions are a little bit more normal, and then once you have the 6-star awakened version, I think there's going to be some very interesting stuff popping up from Thor Ragnarok here. Now, in terms of this kill, I think we're approximately about halfway through, because it was 7. Oh, look at that! Look at that Twitter message. Cheers, mate. Oh, top lad there. Throwing out that one. How did LOL go? Oh, wow. Well, look at the timing of that. PooseUnpoose, a very, very brave man for playing with Twitter notifications on, man. You've got to certainly hand it to him there. But anyway, we're about halfway through this kill, so all the 80% attack damage bonus has been ramped up as well. And also the Fury that you're seeing on Thor Ragnarok is again from the Korg synergy. So that's kind of an additional caveat of playing the character with the Korg synergies. You need to have the opponent in the corner, have the warp in like Rhino in order to get that additional kind of attack buff and bonus. So yeah, Thor Ragnarok is very, very geared up around kind of that aggressive gameplay, but man, watching this like 565 on just absolutely beat on Red Hulk is making me a tad jealous, to say the least. I think, you know, on the free-to-play account, man, it's just making me be like, we need a Thor Ragnarok maxed out on the free-to-play account. I want to go full Thor Ragnarok. It looks like so much fun. I just want to play this character. So yeah, prayers in there for Caban Michael to rig our free-to-play crystals to awaken Thor Ragnarok. That would be an awfully good time if, you know, we could maybe pull him in the next 6 months. Get an awakening gem. We've got another tier 5 basic for another rank 5 champion. So yeah, I don't know. It's maybe not completely out of the realm of possibility. Also got something like, I think it's like 140 stones that I could chuck into a Thor Ragnarok. But then again, you need the 4-star champion synergy to get that 80% attack bonus. I've got a Gladiator Hulk for the 60% one. I don't have a Korg. So yeah, it's still a very, very long shot off of having the Thor Ragnarok dream when it comes to the free-to-play account. But it does look like a pretty fun dream to have. Now, looking at like other character kill times when it comes to Red Hulk, I think some of the very top characters in terms of damage output, we're talking like your Star-Lords, your Dominos, but it's always a little bit hard to tell because some kills have like Suicide Masteries, and there's a lot of RNG in terms of like crits and damage involved when it comes to these really, really meaty kills here. But a lot of the best champions, I believe, can get Red Hulk down in 4 to 6 minutes when they're fully maxed out. However, the Thor Ragnarok kill here winds up being just over 7 minutes in total, and I think it's something interesting to bear in mind, because this is actually higher damage output and a faster kill time than a maxed out Medusa with her full synergy. So that's, you know, just something to think about there, because everybody loves Medusa. You do need to have Medusa awakened. Obviously, there's, I think, a little bit less in terms of the requirements, because you just need the Black Bolt and also the Karnak, and you just need to have her awakened. You don't need a lot of signature levels there, but I also think the Proxima synergy gives a lot more leeway with Thor's special 3 as well, just because he's getting that big surge of power gain every 30 hits in comparison to the standard 40 hits. So I don't know, man, that seems to be making a pretty nice difference there as well, but you know, quite a few characters you do need to collect in order to get this guy going Super Saiyan Beast mode here. So we're pushing down into that that final percentage, just below 20% now, hits the perfect damage bonus. I imagine that's probably also one of the advantages of Thor Ragnarok, is you get very, very good at smashing that perfect damage bonus, because there is just so many special frees when you're flying with this dude. But here we are going in for that final takedown here at 283 hits so far. And again, this really isn't a match or scenario where you can properly utilize the kind of aggressive gameplay of Thor Ragnarok and also really take advantage of his ultimate Super Saiyan stuns as well. So, I don't know, it's a really interesting one to think about, what kind of power level this character is now that he's fully pimped out and has all of these synergies. But Thor Ragnarok, you know, he's definitely not a character to completely sleep on. I think that's kind of the main thing that everybody's known for a while with Thor Ragnarok. It's just, you know, putting all the puzzle pieces together does take a ridiculous amount of time and effort and luck as well. There are so many factors involved into getting him into that Super Saiyan mode. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much once again to PooseUnpoose for sending over this absolutely sick gameplay, man. It's so great to finally see somebody go in on all in on Thor Ragnarok. I love this character, man. He looks so much fun to play. It's really making me want to max out my 4-star version. If we get a 4-star version of the champion in the Aegon Crystal opening, I think you know, we might just say screw it. We might just go for it for a little bit of fun. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Smash that like button for PooseUnpoose. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.